What's going on, everybody? This is another addition to the Boston Politic. We're gonna double it up today. I make this post probably today is the 10th. I probably made this post the 11th. But again, for my YouTube subscribers, YouTube viewers, please like, share, subscribe, comment. It's whatever, man. We're trying to get this thing going. Made this a movement, so jump down. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about the video. It's whatever. So, yeah. And for my Anchor FM podcast listeners, we're gonna probably make an extended cut for you guys. We'll see about that. But yeah, just stay tuned in, and we got some more for you. Today's episode, I just wanted to check in and talk about more of the politics in boxing politics. You know what I'm saying? And it's really making itself visible with this Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz fight. I mean, it's been visible before, but this is bullshit. This is egregious at this point. So I'm online. I'm searching articles and everything, making sure I have up to date about what's going on in the sport, getting the content that I need to. And I see this article from Leo Santa Cruz where he's talking about his upcoming fight with Tank Davis, where he says for the first 4 or 5 rounds, Tank will be active, and then he's gonna drown him late. And that plan is pretty much based on the fact that they tried to drag him down to 130, hoping that he'll be weight drained at the fight. So to me, that's all the nonsense. Like, who the hell is Leo Santa Cruz to be able to take Tank Davis down to 130? If Tank Davis wanted to fight at 135, he should have pushed that fight at 135 because he's the name. Motherfuckers ain't checking for Leo Santa Cruz like that. Who's really checking for Leo Santa Cruz? Like, who is the Leo Santa Cruz fan base that they coming out for? Because Tank just came down to Atlanta not too long ago, and he shut the city down. I mean, he was out here. You got Shaq, you got the whole place packed. You know what I'm saying? Other fights, Lil Baby brought him out. I don't know if he did in this one. I don't recall completely with the Gamboa fight. He gets a knockout in the 11th round in an exciting fight, and yeah, he's doing things Leo hasn't done in his career. And this kid is like 24, 25. Tank he can go to Baltimore, sell out Baltimore. He go to New York, go to the Barclays, sell out the Barclays. So I'm not understanding how Santa Cruz can have such a demand and it be acquiesced to, you know? Because if Tank turns around and tells, let's say back when Tank was at 130 and he was making it, and Lomachenko went to 135, and he says, nah, you got to fight me. You got to come back down and weight. People be looking at him like a clown. They'd be like, oh, okay, he need to weight drain him. He's not this, he's not that. But it's okay for Leo Santa Cruz, who avoided Gary Russell Jr., who avoided Guillermo Rigondeaux. It's okay for him to bring these fighters down who have a style that he's just not comfortable with. So that rhythmic style, that quote unquote urban style, he's not good with it. He knows that. And that's why he does what he does. That's why he needed to bring Tank down. He's hoping to drown him. But what I'm saying is the politics in it is that they allow this because it's mainly with black fighters. I've never seen that with another fighter where going up, like we see Clarissa Shields. She has to go down and weight, fighting these other girls and, well, these women, and she's dominating them, but she has to meet them, and they think they have this demand of her, and they can do it because even though she's the biggest name in women's boxing, she has to acquiesce. She has to meet their demands, even though they're less than her. You know, and I see it with Tank in this situation. This guy is just as accomplished as Leo Santa Cruz already, and he's a much bigger name financially. But he needs to bend over backwards in order to get this fight going. We saw Somehow, Mikey Garcia make as much money as Errol Spence, and we know Errol filled up the arena. Errol can go to New York. Errol go wherever. He's the reason it was a pay-per-view fight. Like Nick, nobody's checking. Niggas ain't checking for Mikey Garcia right now. Like nobody like, what's the next thing Mikey Garcia is gonna do? So it's it's the politic aspect. This is why this show is called The Boxing Politic, because we all know that behind the scenes it's all type of weirdo politics, and we seeing it take place right here. We seeing it with we seeing it with Wilder and Fury 3, because right now Fury is talking about he wants a demand that it's either December or it doesn't happen. If that ain't in the contract, then it's not happening. Honestly, I don't see why Wilder was paying that guy 50-50 in the first fight. He had no belt, no fan base. He brought nothing. So somehow he gets a 50-50 deal, this contract, all of this stuff, when nobody knows who this guy is over here. The only reason he had attention is because of the Wilder fight, and that he didn't get knocked out in the first one, you know? And if we mention all of the shady stuff that's going on now, it's even worse. But the deal that was made, why does Fury get 50% of the fight and then 60 if he, you know what I'm saying, since he won? That shouldn't even been the case. It should have never been a 50-50 fight because these weren't equal in stature opponents. Like Wilder's name was much bigger. He brought a belt. Had the bigger fan base. He's the reason this fight was a pay-per-view. Because Wilder did a pay-per-view on his own in between that time. Fury couldn't. No matter who he fights. He could fight AJ right now. It wouldn't be a pay-per-view in the States. They could try to force it, but, you know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't gonna rock with it. So, these are my problem. There's been a denial of, like, black boxers that they don't have fans, that they're not as exciting, but every big fight seems to have them in there. And we seeing every big fight has them in there, but at the same time, they have to make too many concessions. Floyd made all type of concessions with Oscar De La Hoya. In that case, somewhat understandable. Well, very understandable. Oscar was who Oscar was at that time. But the concessions that Wilder made for a guy who avoided the fight immediately, he avoided the immediate rematch. Man, I wouldn't have made that. He should have just middle finger to him, move on. You know, the concessions that Errol Spence had to make for Mikey Garcia, he came up in weight, so I give him some points on that. But this is something he wanted. He wanted to go up in weight because he felt he wanted to get another belt. He wanted that next weight class. And then he got treated like food. He got ate. And so that really wasn't a concession. He wanted that that weight class belt. He wanted that 147. So that's not a concession. But somehow 50-50, even though you're not bringing that fan base, you know? I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding I'm really not understanding how Leo Santa Cruz gets to make a weight demand. How does Leo Santa Cruz make a weight demand of Tank Davis when Tank is a much bigger, better fighter, like in stature and like accomplishments, they on par in accomplishments, and in name, they're not comparable. He shouldn't have that power, but there is this stigma that Bob Arum put that out a while ago, talking about black fighters don't sell, and they use that to keep Charlo off GGG net. You know, it's up there, black fighters don't sell, so we're not gonna fight Charlo. Then, you know what I'm saying? They ran off. They ran off from that one based on that. So that's what we're seeing. Like, this is the politic and boxing politic, man, for real. They play this game. The politic is mainly quote unquote identity politics. It's always gonna be racial politics involved. It's gonna be some other things. Of course, who has the bigger promoter and everything like that. That's some of the politics behind the game. But we really need to address these issues. We need to address the issue and speak on where fighters should be based on their accolades, their accomplishments, both financially and their accomplishments, and like, you know, in the ring, what fan base they bring. Because some people bring a whole country, some people bring nobody, but somehow it needs to be 50-50. It needs to be 60-40 one guy's way. Leo Santa Cruz, I think in another article talking about Tank could have a big fee to pay. I don't get that. But I think part of them get that. I think Mayweather's camp with Tank, that whole camp, they've been plotting on this fight. First they wanted Abner, couldn't get Abner in there. I guess his eye went away or something like that. And now they got Leo. So they've been looking to rebuild that model, that executioner model. It started with Roger. Floyd took it to the moon, and now they're trying to redo it with Tank, have him beat on this style of fighter. But they need to make sure they don't negotiate themselves into a corner with that guy. Just because, I mean, the reason they're doing it is because they think he can do it, and they wouldn't have picked him if they didn't think he was fooled. But I don't like how the bigger name fighter is making these concessions to the lower guy. But it is what it is. That's what we got to be on the lookout for. You know, that's what these fighters have to really come together and be like, all right, I'm gonna fight you, Devin Haney. You know, Devin Haney and Tank need to box him out. Well, Tank, everybody's calling on Tank, so he really don't have any reason to really box others out. But they need to build their own fights and everything like that, and then just not be concerned with these other guys. Like, if you're gonna play it like that, then no, we don't need to negotiate. I can make just as much money with Devin Haney. I can make just as much money when Shakur come up. I could have made that money with Gary Russell. But Gary Russell would have been a bigger fight, because that's a better fighter. The thing is, Leo does bring a fan base that Gary doesn't bring. So we'll see about it. But I just wanted to touch on that. You know, that really got to me. I don't understand why. I'm seeing it on the internet right now with Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. Somehow, one amateur win is like comparative to her whole body of career. Savannah Marshall, I think, beat Shields in the amateurs, and now Shields is beating everything walking, collecting every belt walking, and these folks trying to act like they on the same level because of an amateur win. Man, get out of here. So that's just it, man. It's the boxing politics. You need to, eventually just box them out. Box them out, you know. They want to see Tank lose. They want to see you lose. Cool. That means you're gonna have to give up something to see me lose. I'm gonna fight my own, and I'm gonna make money with mine, because you're gonna watch anyway just for the hope of seeing me lose. But it is what it is. It's been the boxing politics. I'll get up with y'all next time. Y'all take it easy.